StoneX has just released its latest quarterly outlook, highlighting the key trends shaping global markets. In natural gas, the third quarter brought major shifts, from supply and demand dynamics to growing geopolitical pressures. As we head into the final months of the year, we're looking at what's next for prices and global trade flows. I'm Johanna Bota, and joining me today is StoneX's Brazil Market Intelligence Analyst, Isabela Garcia, who recently authored a comprehensive report on the global natural gas market. Isabela, thank you for being with us today.
Hello, and thank you for the introduction.
So let's start with a recap, shall we? Can you walk us through how natural gas markets behaved in the third quarter?
Sure. So, in the last quarter, gas benchmarks declined due to increasing supply, especially in the US, where it reached record levels in mid July. On the other hand, demand stayed at lower levels because of seasonal factors, such as higher temperatures during the summer and lower industrial activity. The notable exception was in European markets, where stronger demand from the power generation sector increased liquefied natural gas imports and slowed down storage builds. But it's important to note that even in this scenario, price remained above the 2024 levels during the third quarter, mainly due to lower storage in the beginning of the season and ongoing geopolitical tensions that relate to supply risks, especially in Europe. This situation also helped curb demand in other regions, such as Asia, where gas consumption growth slowed compared to previous years.
Okay. I want to go back actually and focus on the US market as an example. What have been the main drivers of supply and demand?
Well, in the US, we saw gas production pick it up, mainly because prices were better earlier this year than last year, for example, and this ended up incentivizing investments and supply. On the demand side, though, temperatures stayed pretty mild, so there wasn't much support for natural gas consumption, and renewables also played a role limiting demand during the summer months in the power sector. The bigger driver this time, if we think of gas demand, was actually exports, especially liquefied natural gas. We've seen a stronger investment in new liquefied natural gas terminals in the US, which boost the country's capacity to supply foreign markets like Europe. And by the end of 2024, for example, the capacity we expect in the US should increase by almost 23 billion cubic feet per year, which is a really significant amount that could really change the flows of natural gas, American natural gas. Still, even with exports rising, the US managed to rebuild gas storage quite strongly over the last couple months, which helped it keep prices lower during the third quarter.
Now, as we head into the fourth quarter, how big of a role will weather play in shaping natural gas demand?
Yes, the fourth quarter is usually when heat and demand starts to pick up as temperature drops during the autumn and winter months. But how much that demand will increase compared to last year's levels is still uncertain, since gas consumption in residential sector is very sensitive to changes in the weather. With the possibility of a La Nina pattern developing in the next few months, we could see a colder winter in North America and Europe,
Mm.
which would boost consumption and put pressure on gas storage. However, there are still some climate models pointing out to above average temperatures ahead, which could limit the increase in gas demand in this period.
Now, aside from the US, which we've talked about already, how are Europe, Asia, and Brazil shaping the global gas balance?
Asian markets are a key point right now because they also rely a lot on LNG imports to meet its demand. So if you have this scenario where demand increases in the US and in Europe, a higher gas consumption in Asia could put even more pressure on the liquefied natural gas market during the winter season. But however, we are seeing slower industrial activity in the region that is still limiting imports, and this trend could continue on the fourth quarter. And I also like to point out that the China markets, which is one of the most important when we talk in terms of natural gas imports, have been increasing its pipeline imports over liquefied natural gas, and this trend is expected to continue through the fourth quarter, also balancing the LNG markets during the fourth quarter, we expect. In Brazil, stronger power thermal power generation during the third quarter was the main driver of natural gas demand.
Hmm.
But on the other hand, the higher market production limited LNG imports during that period, breaking a pattern that we usually see in these such scenarios. So over the next few months, we should see this scenario continue in Brazil, which is lower imports, even as consumption in the power sector remains higher than 2024. So basically, for in terms of balance, in the last months of the year, we see more increase in Europe and the US and lower demand compared to last year, for example, in Asia or in Brazil, or at least a slower growth.
And before we wrap up, Isabella, what are the key risks and price trends that you'll be watching for in the months ahead?
Sure. Because of the higher demand trend during the fourth quarter, prices are expected to recover from the levels we've seen during the summer, of course. But like you said, there are still some factors that could bring volatility. On the bullish side, we highlight continuous geopolitical risks and possible supply disruptions, especially affecting European markets. Colder temperatures like La Nina could also boost gas demand in North America and Europe, putting pressure on gas storage. On the bearish side, there are still highlighting the rising LNG supply, especially in the US, but also in the Middle East and Australia, softer Asian demand, and the possibility of a mild winter that could all keep prices from moving significantly higher in the next couple of months. Overall, we still expect a recovery in gas prices, but the fourth quarter could register more volatility due to these factors. And I guess the key indicator that the markets will watch closely is the gas storage, especially in Europe and in North America, to see how much the demand is pressuring the balance.
Isabella, thank you so much for your time. And thank you for watching. For deeper insights and analysis, scan the QR code or click the link in the description to download the Quarterly Commodities Outlook, available now on the StoneX website.